Welcome, my festive friends. My name is Emmy, and you are on the Zen with Emmy channel. I am a CZT, which means I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and I'm thrilled to be with you today to share some holiday joy together. These are the supplies I've gathered, and I'd also ask you possibly to put me on hold while you cut some paper. Some Bristol would be nice, but any paper you have, like, anything that you would like to use will work just fine. The point is, this is about 2.5 by 4 inches, which is artist trading card size, if that helps. So grab yourself some paper of that size, or if you just want to practice, grab some paper of any size. Today is week 3 in our holiday series, and today we're going to make package toppers. The first pattern we're going to use is called Verdogogh, and I'd like to show you how that works. So Verdogogh is like this. We're going to make a long stick and then come back on itself, or aura, all the way back. And from here, I'm going to make a series of sticks up, one direction, and then I'm going to go on the other side, same thing. Does not matter if they're a bit wonky. Some people like to have that little bit of a line like this, and some like them squared off, whatever you'd like. Now we're going to go back and do row 2. Row 2 is going to do some Hollibaugh where it crosses over like this. And just like any kind of branch evergreen that you're going to run into, they're not all perfect. And as you know, I'm fond of saying, if you've ever heard any of our videos, is that there is no Mary Poppins here. And that's row 2. So we're going to continue along this way until we get this tighter and tighter together, just switching back and forth, and we will add some orbs as we go along. The other pattern that we're going to do is called Cruffle. It's by a lady named Sandy Hunter. She's a CZT, and she's got, if you go to tanglepatterns.com, you'll see a link that shows you how to do this if you would like another idea. And there is 150 ways that she has designed to do this pattern Cruffle. As you see, I've put a largish orb, and then I'm going to make a line down the middle like that. That's a wavy line. I'm going to use each of these for kind of a yin-yang. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to come along like this, mirroring an aura, and come back down the other side. And then I'm going to do that again. Aura. You can do it as many times as you like. I'm going to come around. I need to turn my paper so my work's in front of me. Aura around. Come back. Do it again. Something like that is how we're going to end up. And those are really the 2 patterns that we're going to do today. Let me show you where we're going. I have made this one, which I think is quite cute. And it's meant to be a package topper with someone's name on it as a present. Here's one that I did for my little girl Alicia. And it's that same pattern, and then I've made this Cruffle pretty large for my little bit of ornaments. So let's get started. I've already gone ahead and put a line around, kind of a pencil line, and then I'm going to finish doing this cute little simple border. And I'll do that with you right now. So this is a very small orb with a very simple pattern, very fun to do. Make the turn. And this really does not need anything else, even any shading, although you certainly can shade. So the first thing I want to do is get going on that Verdogogh pattern. I'm going to use the corner, but I want to be a little careful because you see how I've got this here with I've cut that out, or I've snapped it out, whatever you want to do to put it on top of my package. So I'm going to come along here and I'm going to make a long wavy line. And I'm going to come back on it in an aura in Zentangle fashion. And then I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to come along here about maybe a third of the way down and make a line that goes long ways and then back. Kind of, I'm trying to replicate what you might see on a branch. I'm going to make another one, maybe coming down like that. You can certainly do more of these if you like, more branches. And now that I've got a branch that I'm pretty happy with, I'm going to come along here, going all the way down in one direction. And you see that some of them are a little bit different, and that is the beauty of Zentangle. Nobody is looking at your one little line that you made. Pretty much a stick that auras back on itself. And I know you've seen how in Hollibaugh you need to lift your pen and go behind. We'll be doing that a lot along here. I think you're going to like the way this looks. It goes quite quickly. Some are a little longer, some are a little shorter. Whatever your pen wants to do, that's what's going to happen here. Now that you're ready for row 2, you're going to be running into a little more Hollibaugh where you have to lift your pen and go behind. Some of these will be curved because your pen is just going to dictate that it goes that way. Some are going to run into each other in row 2, like that one, and you'll be lifting your pen a lot as you go along. Do a few in the middle here, and by virtue of turning my paper, that really helps these needles to go in the direction that I'm kind of interested in having them going, which is, they're going to look kind of wild and woolly, I think. So let's go row 3. Again, who can say which way they're going to end up? As you turn your work, they'll get a mind of their own. Some will be a little shorter, some will be a little longer. Some will have quite a curve to them. Others not so much. I'm going to lift my pen twice on that one. So you can stop whenever you feel like you've got enough, because we want to have a little room for orbs here. And we're going to hang some on here on this sweet little branch that we're making. So we're going to put some orbs within, kind of large size, wherever you want. Maybe lots of them. Maybe just a few. Let your pen decide what's right. How sweet. So I want to add a couple of ornaments like I have done here. I have a couple of ornaments within the branch, and then I have a couple out here, and I still have plenty of room for a name here for my package topper. So let's go ahead and try to add a couple of long strings, and I like to do them double, or, you know, this one, look at my example again. This one I did single. This one, I did some of them double, doing a lot of Hollibaugh going behind, and they're quite largish. So be sure to allow for that. These are quite a bit smaller, so personal choice. But I do like to start by having what the ornament attaches to, which is that kind of a thin thing that is kind of, oftentimes there's silver on the top of the ornaments. Sometimes they have this little scallop, which is quite cute too. Get a little closer for you there. And then this one's gonna go behind and come out like this. Always gonna be personal preference. Right in the middle, make that wavy line. Make it substantial. So you see, I almost did it double and then come back on itself. And now I'm going to add that Cruffle. Cruffle goes out, follows along, and comes back. Do it again. Out, in. Okay, so let's begin where we were with our wide top of our ornament. Come around and then divide it in half with a wavy line. Start at the bottom here, or out and back. Do it again within, and this one is so wide I actually have room for 3. Woohoo! Coming wide the other direction and back in. 2, and I have 3 on that one. I'll have to have 3 on this one. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so as you can see, these are quite a bit larger, and I've done a couple of her other, Sandy Hunter's other styles that she had. So possibly you will want to try something else, maybe even go to her 150 kinds of Cruffle. Create a long stick that is where your Cruffle is going to hang from. Maybe you'll want to even do a bit of a hook. Wouldn't that be clever? Wide. And then I like to put the lines in it, but you don't have to do that. And then I'm going to put my ornament, keeping in mind I need enough room for my friend's name. Curve, and this time I'm just going to do one of the ones that I saw that Sandy Hunter did. All she did was replicate over and over just one side. I thought that was kind of clever. So I'm going to do that on this one. The next one is going to stay quite high. Do the little hook. Down. And this one, I think I'm going to try to do some scallops on this one. Like that. Cute. Okay, put another ornament. That one's quite wide. And this one, I'm going to do what I replicated here, which is again the same Cruffle base, but then it switches up a little bit. So do your wavy line And instead of coming around, although you can do whatever you like. This is your work. I'm going to bring a shepherd's hook like that. I have enough room to make this just a little bit of a line coming up to finish my piece off. Shepherd's hook on this side as well. Come around. And then I'm going to do another thick kind of a line in there. It's so cute. And I have room for whoever name I want to put in here. Let's get going with a minute or two of shading. Grab your pencil. And first thing I want to do is get some shading around here on the inside of this. My loved ones are worth it, and I know you'll agree yours are too. So it's worth the quality time that it takes. I have my white pencil because I am doing brown paper, which coordinates with my topper will coordinate onto my packages. And then I want to get a little shading on the outside of each of these ornaments that are hanging down. I want to have a little bit of shade here too, underneath, then in the middle, and that might be it, other than I do want a little bit of shading on one side of this string that comes down like that. Let's finish up the ornaments. I'm going to do one side of the ornament, and then where that middle divides, Cruffle, and then here at the top. One side, and then I'm going to come along here with the same kind of replicate what I did there. So the next thing I'm going to do is at the bottom of the Verdogogh, I'm going to put a kind of a heavy line along here. Cute, cute, cute. Grab your blender stump and let's see how this all turns out. Shading isn't a huge mystery, but there still can be some surprises with shading. I'm going to take it out here like it's hanging, and it definitely is going to be a big shadow there is what I'm trying to create. Push it out. See if I have enough room at the end here for a little bit of color on these sweet ornaments. And then I want to get this here along the outside edge. Soften that with my blender stump. And I want that kind of diffuse right into the paper so that it no longer has a thickness to it. Hope that makes sense. So that it isn't dark, so that it blends right in. See how that is diffusing right into my paper? That's what I'm trying for. Yeah, I like that. Oh, very pretty. Okay, I have a little room for my white, and I really, where I'd like to put the white is like I did on this. Just a little bit of a show off here, and then these, believe it or not, that doesn't show up. That's actually green and red berries that I've put in here. So if you have your green or red, go ahead and see about touching them up. What I'm doing here is just getting a little bit of white. which will show up so fun on that brown color that I'm using. I want them all to face the same direction, so I'm going to be careful not to turn and spin my work this time like I'm fond of doing, to keep my work in front of me. And then I want to have a little bit of white in some of this area here in the leaf, or in the stem rather. Trying to talk and work too, which doesn't always work. If you have any color today, and I have my jelly roll, I'm going to add a little bit of color to these berries. I want them to be real festive. You know, and there's no reason why instead of white you couldn't go around maybe and add green and red. You know, that would be really cool. So if you feel like doing that, I think that would be really fun. So this is my green jelly roll here. Just a little dab. It doesn't have to be much. It'll really show up and be a lot of fun. Festive fun. Well, I hope you liked that project. I actually have another one for you, so I'm going to stop now with this video and then bring it back, because I have a couple other very fun things to do with you. So I'm real excited. And if you have time to watch again, I will post another one tomorrow, because this is really cool. I have so many cool things to do on package toppers that I want you to see another one. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. Happy holidays.